Welcome to another episode of the Beacon Insight. I'm AJ, and we've got two amazing new features to talk to you about today that we've just launched. Number one is editable milestones. So with all best intentions, the data is as accurate as possible when we're integrating with carriers. But sometimes if you pick up your cargo from the port, you know exactly what date that you've picked that up from. So here in Beacon now, we've got an option that you might have a field here, actual time of arrival, and you know that that is slightly incorrect. So now you can go in and say, if this shipment here, for example, is the 18th of March, you know that that actually arrived on the 10th of March. So you can select the 10th and then your data is up to date and accurate. And we've got this for all of our milestones that you can now, if you know there are exceptions and you want to have a clean and accurate data set in Beacon, you can manually override what the carrier integration says. So a really important feature for some of our customers who really are striving after that perfect data set, which, as we all know, is extremely important if you want to then leverage AI to its full potential. Feature number two is a super exciting one of our new dashboard launch. So we now have this executive overview in Beacon, which gives you a snapshot of how your supply chain is performing and why it is performing in that way. So at the top of this dashboard, we have some of the key information that supply chain directors and supply chain leaders are looking for on that weekly, daily basis of, I just want to have a snapshot of how my supply chain is performing. So you've got in-transit shipments, current days on quay, next 7 days arrival, and all of these have click-through. So if you want to know, right, what shipments are currently sitting on the quay over 3 days, you might have 3 days in your free days in your contract. You click through and it gives you here the information of that one vessel, who it's, what port it's at, who the carrier is, and the days on quay. There's currently 6 days on quay right now. So you need to get that moving. We also have our well-known map view if you want to share this, in-transit delays and the average time of delays. And as you scroll down, you then start to understand why that performance is. So then we have these last 90 days insights of shipments arriving on time by month. How are your carriers and forwarders performing month to month? You can see this line here of how the percentage of how they are arriving on time by month. And you kind of want that obviously to be going one way. Percentage of shipments arriving by time by route and carrier. Like, does that change by specific routes or carriers? You're then looking at your carrier distribution, route distribution, port of discharge. So you're looking for those patterns to explain why your performance is going one way or another way. Average time, transit times by route, and average number of days on quay. This is obviously incredibly important when looking at D&D charges. You want to be keeping a control over that, get a handle on that, because they are the most avoidable costs in freight within supply chain that we see, and having an accurate or a confident grasp on which routes are you consistently over on your days on quay gives you a better chance of reducing that number to 2. So this has been released to all of our customers currently, and this is just the start. So this is the baseline that we're releasing today. And in the future, we're looking to develop this to be able to answer the key questions that supply chain leaders are trying to figure out of the performance of their supply chain. So 2 huge ones in May. We're super excited about the impact that this is going to bring to our customers. Can't wait for you to get your hands on it. And as always, with feedback, let us know.